And I used to think pain was punishment. I thought life was out to me over. Every setback felt personal. Every failure proved that I wasn't built for greatness. Then I realized pain isn't a message from hell. It's a motherfucking invitation. It's life asking, you done pretending yet? Pain strips away comfort until all that's left is truth. It doesn't care about your excuses or your feelings. It only cares if you're going to move. You can either use it as fuel or drown in it. I drowned for years before I learned how to swim through hell. And the water never got calmer. I just got stronger lungs. That's the secret everyone's scared to admit. Pain doesn't end. You adapt. You get better at carrying it. You stop flinching. You stop begging for easy. You start looking pain in the eyes saying, let's fucking go. Every day's a war between two versions of you. The coward and the savage. The coward wants comfort, validation, and distraction. The savage wants dominance. They both live inside you, and every decision feeds one or the other. The moment you hit snooze, scroll your phone, skip that workout, the coward eats. The moment you get up when you don't want to, say no when it's hard, or push through when it burns, the savage eats. I learned to starve the coward. That's the only diet that matters. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's checking on you at 4 a.m. when the alarm goes off and your body begs for rest. That's where greatness hides, behind the decision to suffer. You don't become disciplined by watching videos. You become disciplined by bleeding in private. Every time you choose hard over easy, you remind your weakness who the fuck's in charge. The problem with most people is they treat effort like a costume. They wear it when others are watching. They flex motivation like it's a fucking filter. But when the lights go off, the costume comes off too. Real work is silent. It's repetition without recognition. Nobody claps for consistency, but consistency is what separates warriors from wishers. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you collect proof. That proof turns into pride, and that pride becomes armor. Most people are naked out here. No armor, no proof, no backbone. They want results without receipts. I keep every receipt. Every mile, every failure, every time I refuse to quit. That's my currency. The grind's not glamorous. It's fucking brutal. It's early mornings, empty stomachs, sore joints, and no applause. But it's honest. It pays in self-respect, not likes. The grind doesn't lie. It either exposes you or builds you. The truth about suffering is that it never truly stops. It just changes form. You survive one storm and another one's already rolling in. Most people spend their lives running from storms. I started running toward them because storms teach you control. You can't stop the rain, but you can learn to breathe through the thunder. That's how you find power. By staying calm when everything's falling apart. You can't buy that kind of peace. You earn it one fucked up day at a time. Every moment I wanted to quit was an opportunity to rewrite my story. Pain became punctuation. Every rep a sentence, every scar a paragraph. The book I'm writing isn't pretty, but it's real. It's written in blood, sweat, and truth. I don't need it to sound good. I need it to mean something. You don't build greatness in comfort. You build it in chaos. People love to talk about mindset like it's magic. It's not. It's maintenance. Every day, your brain tries to drag you back into mediocrity. You fight it by feeding discipline. Discipline's not glamorous. It's repetition without applause. It's that lonely rep when nobody's looking. It's the run in the dark when your legs feel like cement. It's the decision to stay focused when everyone else is distracted. That's the grind nobody posts about in the mental reps, the emotional push-ups, and the invisible miles. That's where resilience is built. I stopped chasing inspiration and started chasing accountability. Accountability hurts. It exposes every crack. But that's where you pour concrete. People think toughness is physical. It's not. It's emotional endurance. It's showing up after you've been broken and saying, you didn't finish me. Mindset isn't motivation, it's armor. You build it with choices. Every choice either sharpens you or softens you. Weakness doesn't scream. It whispers. It tells you you're tired. It tells you tomorrow's fine. It tells you you've done enough. That whispers the devil. And the only way to shut him up is through movement. You can't think your way out of weakness. You've got to sweat it out one painful rep at a time. You train your body to train your mind. Every time you push through, you prove the voice wrong. Eventually it gets quieter. It never leaves completely. It just loses its power. That's why I keep pushing past my limits. The pain's not punishment. It's permission. Permission to evolve, permission to lead, permission to own your fucking life. You can't fake that. You either do the work or you stay a spectator. I've lived both sides. One feels like freedom. The other feels like dying slowly. I choose freedom, even if it hurts every damn day. There's a moment when you realize nobody's coming to save you. That's the day your life actually begins. Most people never reach it because they're too busy waiting for someone to rescue them from their own laziness. They want a mentor, a plan, a miracle, anything but accountability. I waited for years, for luck, for opportunity, for the right time. And nothing fucking changed. Then I stopped waiting. I became my own rescue team. That's the shift. You stop looking for heroes and start building one inside yourself. The world's full of victims who could have been victors if they just stopped negotiating with their weakness. You can't hire discipline. You can't borrow grit. You earn it through suffering. That's the contract. No shortcuts, no refunds, no comfort clauses. It is pain, persistence, and proof. Every rep is a receipt. Every day is an invoice. The debt's never paid in full. You just get stronger carrying it. People love motivation because it feels good. It's easy to consume. It's candy for the mind. But candy doesn't build strength. It builds decay. You don't need motivation. You need movement. Movement's truth. It's binary. You either fucking move or you don't. I don't care how inspired you feel. I care what you do when it's dark, when it's cold, when nobody's watching. Motivation dies in the dark. Discipline lives there. You earn real self-respect when you keep promises nobody else knows about. That's the internal scoreboard. Not likes, not praise, not approval. It's just proof. You want to feel powerful? Keep your word. That's it. No hacks, no affirmations, no bullshit. When you say you're going to do something, do it. Every time you deliver on your own word, your soul gets louder. Eventually, that voice becomes unstoppable. That's the real high. When your own respect for yourself drowns out the noise of the world. Most people want results but hate the process. They want strength without struggle, discipline without discomfort, and wisdom without wounds. That's not how it works. You don't become great by avoiding pain. You become great by mastering it. Pain's the toll on the road to power. I paid it every day, in sweat, blood, and solitude. The toll doesn't go down. You just stop complaining about it. You stop flinching. You start respecting the process. That's when everything changes. You stop chasing easy. You start chasing earned. Because easy feels good for a second. Earned feels good forever. People look for hacks, for faster ways. There's no fucking shortcut through suffering. It passed narrow, brutal, and endless. But it's honest. The world can take everything from you. Money, people, comfort. But it can't steal the pride of knowing you didn't quit. That's yours. You buy that shit with pain, and the price never goes on sale. The mind's the ultimate battlefield. It's not about your body, your talent, or your resources. It's about your control over your own fucking thoughts. The mind's a liar. It tells you you're done when you barely started. It tells you to stop when you're just getting warm. You've got to call its bluff. That's why I go past my limits, not to show off, but to see who's really in charge. You push through the pain long enough and the mind starts to listen. It realizes you're not asking for permission anymore. You're giving orders. That's the moment of power. When your mind finally understands it works for you. Most people let the mind lead. I drag mine by the throat until it obeys. You can't negotiate with weakness. You dominate it through repetition. The more pain you survive, the more obedient the mind becomes. Eventually, fear starts working for you, not against you. Pain's the greatest teacher you'll ever meet. But most people drop out of its class early. They call it unfair, cruel, unnecessary. That's because they don't understand the curriculum. Pain doesn't punish you. It prepares you. Every hardship is a pop quiz for your potential. You fail when you refuse to show up. The grade's not pass or fail. It's grow or stay the same. You can't fake your way through pain. It's pure. It sees right through your excuses. You can talk about discipline all day, but pain will call your bluff the moment it hits. That's why I don't fear it anymore. Pain's my scoreboard. If it's not hurting, I'm not learning. Every scar's a certificate. Every breakdown's a lesson. Pain doesn't end when you escape it. It ends when you extract its message. And that message is always the same. You've got more in you. Prove it. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they're inconsistent. They start strong, quit early, and justify it later. I used to do that. Every excuse sounded logical when I was soft. I'm tired. I deserve rest. I'll do it tomorrow. That's how mediocrity wins. One believable excuse at a time. The truth is, success isn't stolen by failure. It's surrendered to inconsistency. You don't lose once. You die by 1,000 skipped reps. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you chip away at your own identity. Discipline's not about willpower. It's about self-trust. You either become the person who delivers or the one who deflects. The work doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care about your past or your pain. It only respects consistency. I used to pray for strength. Then I realized consistency is strength. It's the quiet kind. The kind that builds kings out of broken men. The mirror doesn't care about potential. It only reflects proof. Every morning I looked that reflection dead in the eye and asked, did you earn respect today? Not yesterday, not last week. Today. That's the contract. You don't sign it once, you renew it daily. The world's full of people bragging about what they used to do. I was an athlete. I used to train. I used to hustle. Cool story. The mirror doesn't care. What are you doing now? The past doesn't deposit respect. It depreciates. I refuse to be a relic of my former self. I'd rather die in motion than fade in memory. Every day is a blank page, and it inks your effort. You either write progress or excuses. When you die, nobody's reading your intentions. They're reading your results. That's why I never stop moving. The grind's not a phase. It's my fucking biography. You want peace? Earn it through war. You can't find peace by hiding from pain. You find it by surviving pain until it becomes your rhythm. Every run, every rep, every brutal day teaches you control. Chaos stops scaring you when you live inside it long enough. The world calls that obsession. I call it freedom. Freedom from hesitation, from self-doubt, from weakness. The peace I've earned isn't quiet. It's calm inside a storm. You can't fake that. You bleed for it. You sacrifice for it. That's what makes it real. Most people want peace without the fight. They want comfort disguised as calm. That's not peace. That's sedation. Real peace is earned one painful rep at a time. You stop fearing struggle because it becomes your fucking heartbeat. And the war within never ends. But once you master it, you stop losing. The problem with most people isn't that they can't. It's that they won't. They've been trained to quit the second it hurts. They confuse discomfort with danger. But pain isn't fatal. It's feedback. It's the universe asking if you're serious. Most people answer with silence. I used to be one of them. I'd start something, feel the burn, and stop. Every unfinished thing in my life became a reminder that I was all talk. Then I snapped. I stopped treating pain as punishment and started treating it as proof. Proof I was alive, proof I was pushing, proof I was done lying to myself. You can't outthink pain. You've got to outlast it. Pain breaks most people because they resist it. I embraced it. I let it teach me. It taught me patience, humility, and fucking dominance. You can't lead your life if you're afraid of suffering. Pain's the price of power. Pay it or stay broke. There's a voice in your head that will always whisper enough. It sounds rational. It sounds kind. It's fucking poison. That voice doesn't care about your goals. It cares about your comfort. It's the liar that tells you you're tired when you're just untrained. It tells you to rest when you've done nothing to earn it. I hear that voice every day, and I ignore it every day. I learned that if you obey it once, it gets louder. But if you fight it, it shuts the fuck up. You've got to dominate your inner dialogue. That's mental warfare. You're not fighting your environment. You're fighting your instincts. Your body's built to survive. Your spirit's built to evolve. Survival whispers stop. Evolution screams more. You decide which one wins. I stopped letting my comfort vote on my progress. Every time it spoke, I sprinted harder. That's how you build silence in the head. With suffering. Discipline's not built in the big moments. It's forged in the boring ones. The repetition that nobody sees, nobody praises, nobody celebrates. That's the shit that separates you from the crowd. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do beast shit every single day. I learned that greatness is monotony mastered. There's nothing sexy about it. It's just showing up and executing while everyone else overthinks. I trained my mind to crave routine like an addict craves a fix, because that routine became my refuge. I don't chase excitement anymore. I chase consistency. You can't depend on emotion. It's a drunk driver. Discipline drives sober. Every day it gets behind the wheel, rain or shine, no excuses. That's how you win. Slow, steady, savage. The process doesn't reward talent. It rewards loyalty. Loyalty to pain, to pressure, to purpose. People chase motivation. I stay married to discipline. That's the only relationship that never cheats. You can't evolve in comfort. Growth is violent. It rips, tears, and rebuilds. Everybody loves transformation. Nobody loves the surgery. But change doesn't happen without cutting away the bullshit. You've got to amputate the parts of you that don't serve your mission. That's what discipline really is. Self-surgery. It's cutting comfort out of your system before it kills you. Every time you choose discomfort, you're performing maintenance on your soul. I stopped seeing pain as a problem and started seeing it as purification. The more I suffered, the cleaner I got. Every drop of sweat was a confession. Every ache was a sermon. You can't fake that kind of spiritual violence. It's the difference between living awake and sleepwalking through life. Most people live sedated, high on convenience, overdosed on mediocrity. I chose the detox. I got addicted to effort instead. You want peace? Bleed for it. Peace earned through pain lasts forever. Fear is the only real enemy. Everything else is an illusion. Pain isn't the killer. Fear is. Fear paralyzes before the fight even starts. It convinces you to surrender before the first punch. I used to let fear run my life. It told me I wasn't good enough, smart enough, built enough. Then one day I stopped asking it for permission. Fear didn't disappear, it just lost control. You can't kill fear. You can only condition it. You train it the same way you train your body. You expose it to stress until it adapts. Every time you face it, it gets smaller. Every time you avoid it, it grows. That's the formula. Face or feed. I face mine daily. Through the pain, through the pressure, through the unknown. Fear doesn't fade with success. It fades with exposure. But most people wait to feel brave. I act scared as hell and do it anyway. That's courage. In the past is heavy, but it's supposed to be. It's resistance weight. Every failure, every mistake, every scar. That's your training ground. I stopped hating my past when I realized it built my backbone. You don't need to escape it. You need to drag it with you until it becomes muscle. People talk about letting go like it's freedom. Fuck that. You carry it until it turns into strength. And the weight of regret becomes the weight of readiness. The pain that once broke you becomes the proof that you can't be broken again. Every memory of failure is a reminder that you're still here. You're still breathing, still building. You want to honor your past? Outwork it. You can't rewrite it, but you can redefine it. The past isn't your prison. It's your gym. Every rep you do today makes yesterday irrelevant. You can't erase pain, but you can repurpose it. That's redemption through effort. The world doesn't owe you fairness. It owes you opportunity. And even that you have to fight for. Life isn't supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be fuel. Every disadvantage is data. Every obstacle is a fucking workout for your character. The weak blame, the strong build. I used to blame everyone for my past, my circumstances, my upbringing. Then I realized blaming doesn't burn calories. Work does. I started seeing every problem as practice, every betrayal as training, every loss as leverage. That's how you weaponize hardship. You turn pain into pressure and pressure into progress. Most people waste energy wishing for justice. I use it to build endurance. Life's not rigged, it's revealing. It shows you what you can handle and what you refuse to. The lesson never changes. It's not supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be fucking worth it. You can cry about it or conquer it. Pick one. You'll never be unstoppable until you learn to suffer in silence. Most people collapse when no one's clapping. They need noise to function. But silence is where you meet yourself. It's the place where truth echoes the loudest. That's where I learned who I really was. Not on stage, not online. In the quiet, in the grind, in the dark. You can't fake it there. You either face your demons or get eaten alive by them. Silence stripped away my comfort, my ego, my illusions. What was left was raw, ugly, real, and strong. That's the version I trust, because silence never lies. It's the ultimate accountability partner. The moment you stop needing external noise to stay consistent, you become lethal. That's when you evolve from motivated to monstrous. That's when pain stops scaring you and starts obeying you. That's where strength truly lives, deep, deep in the fucking silence. Success is the most dangerous drug there is. It's disguised as pride, but it's really poison. The second you start feeling satisfied, you start dying. Comfort doesn't knock. It seeps in through cracks. You stop doing the little things that built your strength. You start coasting. I've done it before. I let my ego convince me that I'd earn rest. That's when I got soft. You don't even feel it at first. The laziness creeps in disguise as recovery. The excuses sound logical, and before you know it, your edge is gone. I learned the hard way that comfort kills faster than failure. Failure teaches you. Comfort erases you. That's why I stay hungry. And not for applause, but for war. Hunger is the antidote to pride. You can't stay sharp if you stop bleeding. You either suffer voluntarily or life will force feed you pain later. The only question is whether you'll be ready to eat it. The most dangerous lies are the ones you tell yourself. You can justify anything with the right tone. I've worked hard. I deserve a break. I'll start again Monday. Those sentences sound harmless, but they're executioners. They kill momentum quietly. I used to speak fluent justification. I could turn weakness into wisdom in seconds. I was a poet of bullshit. But deep down, I knew I was lying. The body can rest, but the soul knows the truth. And the mirror knows too. Every time you break your own promise, it etches another crack into your reflection. Soon you can't even look at yourself without flinching. That's why I stopped lying. I'd rather face brutal truth than live a comfortable delusion. Lies feel warm, but they rot you from the inside out. Truth burns, but it sterilizes. Painful honesty is the only way to stay clean in a world that worships comfort. You can't build respect by asking for it. You earn it in solitude. People don't see the 3 a.m. runs, the empty gyms, the early mornings where your body begs for mercy. They only see the highlight reel. But greatness doesn't live there. It lives in repetition, in the quiet moments when nobody gives a fuck. That's when I became who I am. Not when people clapped, but when they doubted. Not when it was easy, but when I was alone with nothing but pain and purpose. Respect earned in silence screams the loudest. You don't need to talk when your work already does. Most people chase validation because they don't respect themselves enough yet. Once you do, the noise becomes irrelevant. You stop performing, you start producing. And once you taste the pride that comes from earning your own respect, applause feels like static, meaningless sound from the sidelines. Suffering isn't optional. It's scheduled. The universe will test you whether you're ready or not. The trick is to volunteer for it first. That's how you stay in control. Pain hits harder when you're untrained. You want to stay ahead of it? Seek it. I put myself through hell on purpose. Long runs, cold mornings, brutal workouts. Not because I'm addicted to punishment, but because I'm preparing for life. I call it preemptive suffering. You train in peace so you don't bleed in war. Most people wait for pain to find them, then panic when it does. I don't wait. I go find it. Pain's predictable. It always shows up. The question is whether you're practiced or panicked when it arrives. The body's built to adapt. The mind's built to complain. Did you train the body to lead so the mind follows? That's the game. That's how you stay dangerous in a world full of soft minds. The past doesn't disappear. It disguises itself. You think you've outrun it, but it's just waiting for weakness to creep back in. That's why I never let my guard down. I remember every mistake, every failure, every time I quit. Not to hate myself, to remind myself, memories fuel. The world tells you to move on, to forgive yourself. I say use it. Drag that pain with you like a weighted vest. It slows you down at first, but over time it builds strength. You don't forget where you came from. You weaponize it. Every time I want to quit, I remember the coward I used to be. That's my shadow. It never leaves, but instead of fearing it, I race it. Every morning's a rematch with who I used to be. I don't want peace with that version of me. I want dominance. You don't outrun your past. You outwork it. Discipline is the highest form of love. Not for others, for yourself. It's proof that you care enough to hold yourself accountable. Most people mistake comfort for self-care. Real self-care is discipline. It's doing what's right for your future self, even when your current self hates it. I love myself enough to make me suffer. That's the paradox. Pain is love in disguise. It's me telling myself you deserve better than your excuses. Every rep, every run, every hour of grind is self-respect in motion. The world preaches softness like it's salvation. Be kind to yourself, they say. Yeah, I am. By demanding greatness, by refusing to let my weakness win. That's kindness at its most brutal. You can't hate yourself into improvement, but you can discipline yourself into pride. That's the real therapy: sweat, suffering, and self-honesty. Everything else is decoration. And quitting is seductive because it always feels justified. There's always a reason. Too tired, too busy, too late. The world rewards those reasons with sympathy. Sympathy is the drug that keeps you average. Every time you take it, your standards die a little. I used to crave sympathy. I wanted people to understand my pain. Then I realized understanding doesn't build anything. Sympathy doesn't raise your heart rate. It doesn't move the fucking weight. It just keeps you stuck. That's why I stopped explaining myself. I don't need to be understood. I need to be undeniable. You can't explain your way into excellence. You have to earn it. Sympathy is a lullaby for failure. You either wake up or you die listening to it. I turned off the music years ago. Now all I hear is effort. No pity, no pause, just pressure. You don't find your limits, you forge them. Limits aren't walls. They're mirrors. They reflect what you've been willing to tolerate. You break them by refusing to stop. Most people flirt with their limits. I fuck them up. I push until pain becomes background noise. That's where breakthroughs live. Right past the threshold of reason. And your mind screams stop long before your body needs to. That's why you've got to keep going when it makes no sense. That's when you find the next version of yourself. Your growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in chaos. You bleed, you fail, you curse, you cry, and then you come back sharper. That's the cycle. You break, rebuild, and break again. There's no finish line. Just new ceilings to destroy. That's what life is. A constant demolition of limits. Every day you swing the hammer or the wall wins. You don't need to love the pain. You just need to respect it. You don't need to enjoy the struggle. You just need to embrace it. Every rep, every second of effort, every ounce of sweat is communication between you and your future. You're telling your future self, I'm building you. You can't talk your way there. You can only suffer your way there. Every shortcut steals from your potential. Every excuse delays your evolution. You can't cheat discipline. It's smarter than you. It knows your patterns, your lies, your escapes. That's why I stopped arguing with it. I just show up. Every day. No feelings, no debate. They just work. You don't have to like it. You just have to do it. Because the pain will end, but the pride won't. That's the trade. Pain's temporary. Proof is permanent. Pain doesn't go away. It evolves with you. When you start out, it's loud, sharp, unbearable. But over time, it turns into something else. Familiar, useful, even comforting. It's the sound of growth. You start craving it because you know what it means. Pain means progress. The weak avoid it like disease, but warriors learn its language. Every ache, every blister, every drop of sweat is information. It tells you where you're soft, where you're weak, where you need to go next. I stopped hating pain when I realized it was the only thing telling me the truth. It doesn't lie, it doesn't flatter, it doesn't quit. It just shows up and asks, how bad do you want it? I answer with movement. Pain's the only mentor that never takes it easy on you. And that's why it works. You can't fake effort when pain's in the room. It sees everything. The reason people stay stuck isn't because they don't have potential. It's because they keep looking for easy versions of hard things. They want motivation instead of momentum. They want healing without confrontation. You can't negotiate with growth. Growth demands full payment, sweat, time, and struggle. Most people try to finance their dreams with comfort, and comfort's got interest rates that will fucking ruin you. You pay now in effort, or you pay later in regret. Either way, the bill comes due. I used to run from that truth until I realized running from pain is still cardio. You're just getting tired without going anywhere. You want to evolve? Walk straight into the fire. That's the toll booth on the road to greatness. Nobody skips it. You either hand over your comfort willingly or life will take it by force. The mind's built to protect you, not perfect you. It'll lie, manipulate, and bargain to keep you safe. Yeah, safety is your cage. You've got to rewire that instinct. When your brain says stop, your spirit has to say go. I learned to use my body as leverage against my mind. Every time my thoughts said quit, I moved faster. I stopped waiting for courage to arrive. Action creates courage, not the other way around. You don't think your way out of weakness. You train your way out. The mind learns from experience, not intention. You can journal, plan, manifest, all that shit's fine. But until you put your body through hell, your mind stays soft. Pain is data. Movement is proof. That's the algorithm of growth. You input suffering, you output strength. You can't fake it, can't outsource it, can't skip it. You've got to earn it through motion, not words. Comfort's the world's biggest scam. It sells happiness, but delivers emptiness. People chase ease like it's the goal, but ease is the thief of fulfillment. You weren't built for soft living. You were built for stress, struggle, and survival. When you stop challenging yourself, you stop evolving. I used to think happiness was peace. Now I know it's purpose. And purpose always comes with pain. The two are married. You can't have one without the other. You want meaning? You better be ready to suffer for it. Every sacrifice you make for purpose fills the void that comfort creates. Comfort numbs. Purpose awakens. That's why I put myself in hard situations every day. I'm not addicted to suffering. I'm addicted to growth. There's a difference. Growth hurts, but it hurts in a way that builds you. Comfort feels good, but it kills you slowly. I'd rather bleed than rust. You can't control how life hits you, but you can control how you hit back. That's the difference between survivors and victims. The victim asks, why me? The survivor says, try me. I used to play the victim like a pro, blaming everyone, including myself. But blame doesn't burn calories. It doesn't build calluses. It just keeps you soft. I started responding instead of reacting. When shit got hard, I leaned into it. I let life punch first, and I countered with effort. That's how you take control back. Through action. You can't change what happened to you, but you can change what you do next. Every time I move, I remind life that it doesn't own me. You don't find strength in control. You find it in chaos. Strength's built when you stop needing fair fights. Life doesn't fight fair, and neither do I. I fight until it fucking stops moving. Failure's not the enemy. Fear of failure is. People think failing makes them losers, but avoiding failure makes you invisible. You can't win a fight you never enter. Every failure I've had carved out space for success. It's like breaking muscle down to rebuild it stronger. The more I failed, the more durable I got. Failure taught me more about myself than any victory ever did. It showed me how much pain I could take, how long I could crawl before collapsing. It showed me that embarrassment doesn't kill you, disappointment doesn't break you, and rejection doesn't define you. Most people fear failure because they think it exposes weakness. But failure reveals weakness so you can fix it. That's how you become bulletproof. By being shot at and surviving. You don't grow by avoiding pain. You grow by absorbing it and turning it into fuel. The mirror doesn't give a fuck about your excuses. It only reflects reality. You can cry in front of it, lie to it, scream at it. It stays quiet. That silence is accountability. I used to hate that mirror. I'd look at it and see wasted potential, broken promises, a fraud. The day I stopped avoiding it was the day I started changing. The mirror doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for honesty. That's the hardest part. Looking yourself dead in the eye and admitting you've been lazy. That's what breaks most people. They'd rather stay comfortable in denial than suffer in truth. But once you face it, that reflection becomes your coach. Every flaw you see becomes an assignment. Every weakness becomes a workout. I stopped running from that mirror years ago. Now I talk to it every morning. Not for motivation, but for accountability. That reflection never lies. Discipline isn't about being tough all the time. It's about being consistent when you're tired, broken, and uninspired. That's the secret nobody wants to hear. You don't need motivation when you've got momentum. Discipline doesn't need a reason. It just needs a start. I built mine by removing the option to quit. When you take quitting off the table, everything changes. You stop asking if and start asking how. That's how I live. No plan B, no safety net, no exit. It burned the boats and row. You can't half commit to greatness. You either go all in or stay all average. Most people never realize how strong they are because they keep one foot in comfort. They think safety's smart, but safety's a fucking cage. You can't build power behind bars. I'd rather die running free than live safe standing still. That's what discipline really is. Freedom disguised as suffering. Stay hard.